On today's show, the Timberwolves collapse in overtime. The Raptors are rising, and Detroit is on the precipice of something they've absolutely never done. Today's Locked On NBA Game Night.
When that final buzzer rings, you know it's time for Locked On NBA Game Night. All the post-game reactions to every game across the league, every single night, with insights only the hosts at Locked On can provide. It's the true NBA fans' one stop for all the action. Every game, every night. It's Locked On NBA Game Night. Tipping off now.
And welcome to Locked On NBA Game Night. My name is Nick Angstadt, host of the Locked On Mavericks podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for helping us make the Locked On Podcast Network the #1 sports podcast network out there. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Joining me, as always, from Locked On Bucks. What'd you see in the NBA tonight, Camille Davis?
Man, some real fun games. Just not the one in Milwaukee, but outside, otherwise, really fun.
Mine was not fun until the fourth quarter for the Mavericks either. And then it was not very fun at the very end. And so today's episode, we're getting into 10 games in the association tonight. All kinds of stuff. The Raptors are starting to rise. They beat the Cavs. We'll talk about the Pistons, 13-game win streak, the Mavs. Talk about the Rockets getting a win against the Suns. Damian Lillard returns to Milwaukee. All kinds of stuff happening in the NBA. So let's get right into it. Let's start here with the Minnesota Timberwolves collapsing against the Sacramento Kings. And the Kings getting a win in overtime. And of course, Matt George. You got to hear from Matt George right after a Kings overtime win.
You would think so, especially how this season has gone with how terrible they've been.
The Kings win 2 games against the Nuggets and against the Timberwolves. Impressive wins in both of them, both without Sabonis and both without Matt George, who is at Disneyland. And so let's hear from Ben Beacon from Locked On Wolves.
The Minnesota Timberwolves choked away another game in the final minutes, this time losing to the Sacramento Kings in overtime on Monday night. I'm Ben Beacon, host of the daily Locked On Wolves podcast. And only 3 nights after losing to the Phoenix Suns with a terrible late game collapse, the Timberwolves led by 10 points with just over 3 minutes to play in this one and only scored 2 points over the final 3 minutes of the game as the Kings closed on a 12-2 run to force overtime. And overtime itself wasn't much better for the Timberwolves. They led by as many as 14 points in this game. They were up 8 at halftime. Ant had 43 points. There's so many reasons why this should have been another win for the Wolves over a bad team. But down the stretch, the offense just became Ant ISO after Ant ISO. And yes, he made a couple of tough buckets in overtime, but the offensive execution completely dried up. And that was really the story. The Kings made their shots on the other end, and the Timberwolves just failed to execute. They completely panicked down the stretch for yet another disappointing loss.
Whew, the Timberwolves a loss to the Kings here. The Kings have been bad, obviously, and the Timberwolves, though. Anthony Edwards, 43 points, like he says, some big buckets late, but how concerning was the offense late in this game? They had 101 offensive rating total in this one.
Yeah, it's concerning. We hear it all the time that the ball has energy. The ball has energy. You want to make sure the ball is moving, that guys are touching the ball so that they still feel included, ready to play in the game and all of that good stuff. Down the stretch in this game, I noticed the exact same thing where I'm like, man, it is a lot of Ant ISO. And I get it to a degree because he's Anthony Edwards. He has shown the ability to be a big shot maker, to get clutch buckets, to be able to bend defenses. You trust him with the ball in his hands, but it's like that delicate balance of all right, at what point do I go for it? At what point do I get others involved? And I felt like down the stretch, you didn't really see the offense trying to start to generate anything else until overtime. And by that point, it felt like Sacramento was really rolling and they had their energy going and they were playing some just inspired defense at that point. So it felt like a little bit too late when the offensive flow got to overtime.
But even in overtime, the offensive flow was Anthony Edwards going 4 of 6. And the only other person that took shots was Dante DiVincenzo, was 1 for 3 and hit that 1-3. There wasn't any diversity of it. Julius Randle was just absolutely non-existent. It felt like he finished fourth quarter in overtime 0 for 2 from the field. Just nothing from Julius Randle. And that's the other place that you think that you'd get offense from. And it was really just Anthony Edwards. Hey, if he's not gonna score, which he did a lot, he finished with 43 points, had some massive buckets in that fourth and overtime. But if he wasn't gonna do something, then nobody else was.
And to your point about Julius Randle, not only did the scoring peter off in that way, he finished with 17 points, but also 6 turnovers. Like he led the Wolves in turnovers. And that's not something that you really want to see from Randle. Like they had 17 turnovers on the day. He accounted for 6 of them. That's not a winning formula. Jaden McDaniels had 4 of them. It's hard to win that way too when you have some guys there who are playing heavy minutes, just turning the ball over at that frequency.
On the Kings side of this, I'll fill in for Matt George here. Oh my gosh, what a win for the Kings in overtime. Absolutely wild. DeMar DeRozan, 33 points. Keegan Murray, 26 points, 14 rebounds. Some fascinating things happened in this game. Precious Achiuwa was closing this game, 34 minutes. Drew Eubanks got the start because Sabonis is obviously out, but Eubanks only played 13 minutes. Precious played 34 at center. Precious also, shout out to him, he had a big rebound to start overtime. Then he had the steal on the inbound at the very end of the game to ice it. So just a massive moment. And Zach LaVine played like 3 seconds in overtime. Didn't close the game either. Malik Monk's closed over him. Just some fascinating decisions, I think, by Doug Christie.
Doug Christie, when he had that, what was like the 15-minute presser where he was really just kind of laying out how he felt about the team and how they needed to improve. And this isn't the version of Kings basketball that he wants to play and how guys have to have pride in the jerseys and go out there and play. You saw that in action tonight with the guys that he had playing, to your point about Zach LaVine being sat down there at the end. Malik Monk in this game too, the effort that he was getting, diving out of bounds for loose balls to just try to save another possession for the team. Like Westbrook out there, like he leaned on the guys who were playing with the effort and the energy. Shout out to Mike Budenholzer for effort and energy there, but that, he wanted his team to play with, and the guys that he continued to play kept coming through. I mean, DeRozan, perfect from the free throw line, 15 of 15. Just impressive stuff.
Had some massive turnarounds. The Malik Monk save out of bounds with 1 minute and 6 seconds left in overtime was, I mean, put that on a poster. Like, and shout out to the Kings crowd for just like, they always show up. They didn't
leave.
Nope, didn't leave. Still there in overtime on a Monday night. Like, just hanging out in Sacramento. Like, let's watch our team and let's watch this weird basketball team without Sabonis. Let's watch them win this game against the Timberwolves. Do you feel better about the Kings or worse about the Timberwolves after a game like this?
Ooh, given the fact that the Timberwolves, this is their second game in a row where they have just kind of tricked it off at the end. Like they just played in Phoenix on Friday where they had an 8-point lead with less than a minute left and they lost that game by 1. Now you play the Kings, you're up by 10, 3 minutes left, and you find a way to lose in overtime. Oof. It's not great there, but like I don't have super long-term concerns for the Wolves. It feels like a little blip in the radar for them.
Do you say wolves or woofs?
Wolves.
I love
a little bit of the southern. I'm not even from the South. My family is. It kind of just bleeds in sometimes with some of the things I say, like teeth.
I love people that say whoops. I feel better about the Kings in this one because I didn't think the Kings were this bad, right? They're 4-13. Like I did not think that team was that bad considering at least the collection of talent that they had. And this looked like a game. All right, they should at least be competing with some of these teams, especially when the Timberwolves come in. They had 2 days off. They're, sometimes you come in a little lackadaisical after you've had some time off, and they definitely did in this one.
Yeah.
The Toronto Raptors are not doing anything lackadaisical right now. They get another win against against the Cavs. The Raptors have had this crazy stretch here. They started out the season 1-4. They're 12-1 since. Their slate has been pretty easy. I'll give it to them, and Sean Woodley will comment on that here in a second. But 3 of their wins in that 12-1 are against the Cavs themselves.
Yes, that's going to be huge for the standings at the end of the year. I can already feel it.
Let's hear from Sean Woodley, who has a sleeping baby, so he's not as loud happy as we would think he would be, but he is happy about it.
8 in a row for the Toronto Raptors, and Brandon Ingram have a night. 37 points for Brandon Ingram on 15 of 30 shooting, his biggest offensive output of the season as the Raptors take down the Cavaliers for their 3rd win in 3 tries against the Cavs this season. Yeah, the Cavs have dealt with injuries in all of their meetings, but you can only beat who's in front of you, and the Raptors are just beating everyone who's in front of them, the Cavs very much included. I mean, the Cavs have 7 losses on the season. 3 of them are at the hands of your 13-5 Toronto Raptors. Ingram in this game was outstanding. The Raptors, without RJ Barrett, he suffered a knee sprain on Sunday night. Good news there. It doesn't seem like it's going to be a long-term thing, but without him, a little harder to have the sort of egalitarian everybody eats offense that the Raptors have had great success with this year. Instead, they just kind of throw it to Ingram and say, Brandon, do something. And Brandon did many somethings as he sized up mismatches, hit threes, hit crazy tough twos, also chipped in on the defensive end as well. The Raptors go more than 4.5 minutes down the stretch of this game without allowing a single point from the Cavaliers. It was 103-99 after a couple Donovan Mitchell threes, and then they shut it down from there. 110-99 the final. This is crazy. The Raptors are 5th in offense and 4th in defense per clean the glass. Top 5 on both ends. You don't do that by accident. Even if the schedule's been easy, even if the Cavs have not had their guys, this team is so for real. It's awesome.
So happy for Sean Woodley to cover a team that's actually competent on both ends after the last couple of years with the Raptors. But this one, Brandon Ingram, 15 points in the third quarter. That was massive. Big turning point there in this one. And I do have to mention, though, the Cavs, Darius Garland out, Jarrett Allen out, DeAndre Hunter out, Max Strus out, Sam Merrill out, Craig Porter Jr. out. They had like 7 rotation players out for them. But Sean's right. You can only beat the teams that are in front of you. The Raptors, really impressive right now.
They are. I mean, you can't take that away from them. Even if they are bad teams, we just saw the Wolves, what we believe to be a good basketball team, lose to the Kings, a team that we have believed to be pretty bad so far this season. So we know it's not a given on any night in the NBA that just because on paper your team looks like it's quote unquote better than the other, that it's going to be a win. You have to actually go out there and play. And for the Raptors to be doing that and also be top 5 in offense and defense along the way, after their start to the season, that's impressive. That's really impressive. Brandon Ingram having 37 points in 37 minutes. Like, this team is just clicking right now.
They absolutely are. And go listen to Locked On Raptors for more on that. Go listen to Locked On Kings when Mickey Mouse allows Matt George to come home. But coming up, the Detroit Pistons doing something they've never done in franchise history, and they're also proving that you can turn it around in the NBA real fast. I'll tell you more about that coming up. Locked On NBA Game Night continues next. Today's episode of Locked On NBA Game Night brought to you by Robinhood. Nobody knows your money goals better than you do. Robinhood puts you in control of your money with tools that work as hard as you do as well. Locking in every opening, beating your PR, beating it again. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your own money. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all from one platform. You can now build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood's Legends Advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. Also brought to you by the drink of choice, or at least the drink enhancer of choice by me. When I'm hydrated, everything works better. That's why I've been using Drip Drop. It's doctor-developed hydration that keeps you running at full power no matter what your day looks like. It's not your average sports drink. It delivers, get this, ready? 3 times the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading brands, using a science-backed formula trusted by medical professionals, firefighters, and over 90% of top colleges and pro teams. It's just this little packet you pour into your drink. Tastes great, makes your water taste good. If you're somebody that's like, I can't do water, well, just do a little Drip Drop, and you actually get 3 times the electrolytes, so it hydrates you even better than water. Right now, Drip Drop is offering podcast listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com, use the promo code LOCKEDONNBA. That's dripdrop.com, promo code LOCKEDONNBA for 20%. Stock up now before the heat hits hard, and keep your body and mind performing at their best with Drip Drop. Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On NBA Game Night, being part of the show, being an everydayer, listening every day. We've got a daily show that covers your favorite team. Check the links in the description to find that show. Locked On Pistons with Kuka Hill. That's one you're going to be locking into right now, because Camille, just 23 months ago, we were listening to Kuka Hill just completely like spiral as the Pistons were going through a 28-game losing streak. 23 months ago, 1 year, 10 months, 37 days. Since they were on their 28-game losing streak, and now they're on a 13-game win streak now. Let's hear from Kuka Hill about their win tonight.
Detroit Pistons extend their win streak to 13 games. They now tied the franchise record. Just a few years ago, they were tying a different streak record, and we know all about that history. But now they're trying to accomplish a different record. They're going to try to go 14 straight wins. Wednesday against the Boston Celtics. This game got way too close. Oh, host of Locked On Pistons podcast, by the way, Kuka Hill. This game got way too close. against the Indiana Pacers. The Pistons were up by 20 in this game. They were up by 14 with 4 minutes left. And somehow the Indiana Pacers cut this lead all the way down to a one-possession game with around 40 seconds left. And as usual, as he's done all season long, Cade Cunningham came down, hunted Benedict Mathurin, got 2 screens just to hunt out that matchup, attacked him, got to the mid-post area, backed him down, and got an easy hook shot off. Clutch player of the year. Cade Cunningham continues to show up for the Pistons in the fourth quarter and close the deal, shut the door on these teams. Cade has been fantastic. This is a great win for the Pistons. I don't care how it happened. 13 straight games. It's hard to do in the NBA. The Pistons go for the record on Wednesday. What a time to be a Pistons fan.
What a time indeed. The Pistons have had 2 13-game win streaks in their history besides this season. Both teams went on to win the NBA Finals. 2004 and 1990, they both went on 13-game win streaks, and that's the longest the Pistons have had. This one's the 13, and I'm going to put you on the spot. Are they going to win the title this year? They make it 3 for 3?
I don't know if they're going to win the title. I think that I would still favor that team in the West that's defending their championship right now, but I think the Pistons right now should be considered the favorite in the East. Of course, these things can change, but like with the way that they've been playing so far this season, right now you got to look at them and give them the respect that they have earned with their play, because they have a very physical style of ball. The defense for this team is real. Cade Cunningham is real. They have guys that are playing their role. Jalen Duren looks like he's taking a step. Jaden Ivey just came back. You got Isaiah Stewart out here shooting more threes, playing that defense. Like, this Pistons team is real.
They're going to trade for Anthony Davis in a couple weeks, and then they're going to take it up to another level.
Oh, I know you'd be ecstatic if that happened.
Just a trade in general. Just get him somewhere. But this Pistons team is so impressive. Absolutely impressive to see what they're doing. This one is one where you're like, well, obviously they're going to beat this Pacers team. This Pacers team is really bad and terrible. Yeah, but the Pacers fought back, and they got it to within like 2-3 at the very end of this one, and Cade closed it. Just like Koo said, and when you're on a streak like this, you have to find different ways to win games, and he found a way to win this one.
Yeah,
the Heat found a way. Oh,
I was going to say really quick, Benedict Mathurin, he was hurt for a while, came back. He had that 3 that almost tied it up. I was kind of hoping for it because the Pacers have just been struggling so much. I was like, man, it would be kind of fun to see this go to overtime, get some extra time, but nah. Cade said, no, that's not going to happen. We going home.
Cade's like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. Get me out of Indiana. The Heat find another way to win a game as well against the Dallas Mavericks. Let's hear from Wes Goldberg on the Mavs can't score, Camille. The Mavs, they can't.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but you'll take it if you're the Miami Heat, beating the Dallas Mavericks on the second night of a back-to-back. I'm Wes Goldberg from Locked On Heat. It's a good win. You take it. The threes were not falling for the Heat in this game. It was an ugly one. They looked tired. The threes weren't falling for the Dallas Mavericks either very much in this game.
They never do.
The Heat were without Norm Powell. They were without Andrew Wiggins. They were without Nikola Jovic off the bench, but they were welcoming back Tyler Herro, who made his season debut after offseason foot surgery. And Herro led the team with 24 points in his first game back. Didn't make a ton of threes, but was money with his float game, with his mid-range game. And so he was the one who led the team in scoring, and then it was Bam Adebayo who helped close this game for the Heat. He steals the inbound pass, which leads to a Herro floater to go ahead and take a lead in what was a close fourth quarter. And then Bam gets the defensive rebound to seal the game on the Mavericks' final possession there. So an ugly one, but it's a good one nonetheless. The Heat will take it. Check out more over at Locked On Heat.
Absolutely a nasty game. PJ Washington threw an inbounds pass right to Bam Adebayo. It was like he's trying to throw it over Bam and Gafford. It just didn't really make any sense. I was really impressed by Khalil Ware in this one too. 20 points, 18 rebounds, hit 3 threes as well, 3 blocks. Just a super impressive game by a young guy where you go, okay, that's a guy that can add a dimension to this Heat team going forward.
He can't. He had a double-double at halftime. So like he was really working in this game. He's been impressive to me this season. He was somebody as a rookie last year where I was like, I'm really interested in how this kid's game grows, because in the draft process and just going through the tape and everything, I was like, he popped. He stood out. And during this 5-game win streak that the Heat have been on, he's been averaging about 17 points, 16 boards, a block and a half, a steal, while shooting 52.5% from the field. Like, he has been doing his job, whether he's starting or coming off the bench, and filling in valuable minutes for this Heat team.
I'll give the Mavs some credit, though. They held the Heat to like 106 points. It's only happened. It's the second lowest of the season so far. The Heat has been scoring a ton of points this season, obviously. And so the Mavs holding them is something. Cooper Flagg, 12 points in this one, 7 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals. It didn't really get much going early in this game, but he scores some more clutch buckets in this one and had some really good defensive plays in the clutch. He's still trying to figure out where he is in this offense. I think the whole team is trying to figure out where they are in this offense. If they do have an offense, there's lots of things that they're trying to figure out. They brought in Ryan Nembhard, who's a two-way player. He's been out with a knee sprain. But even when he was healthy at the beginning of the season, kid wasn't playing him very much. But they bring him in the second half. Didn't play at all in the first half. Bring him in the second half. He plays 17 minutes in the second half, closes the game. D'Angelo Russell plays 0 minutes in the second half. Brandon Williams only plays like 6 minutes in the second half too. And he started at guard for him. But Ryan Nembhard, 7 assists, and he just got the offense going. He's a guy that can just dribble and pass. And like, honestly, that is a thing that is a revelation to this Mavs offense, because their guards have just been so limited in their different areas. Like, they have guards, they have one guard that can pass and Ryan Nembhard. They have one guard that can drive and one guard that can theoretically shoot, D'Angelo Russell. Like, they have these 3 guards. And they're just
Only
like rotating
put them together.
Yeah, like, can we just fuse them all together into one and maybe they'll be okay? But that one, I guess, is Kyrie Irving.
Yes, that you're still waiting for. I know Jason
comes
Kidd mentioned, like, hopefully before 2025 ends. So, well, he's like, no, that's not happening.
we'll see. I'm hopeful. We'll see. But this team just continues to struggle in so many different ways. Yeah. But they've played in 15, or they played in 14 clutch games. They've lost 10 clutch games this season so far. You know what the second most losses in clutch games is this season?
How many? It's got to probably be like 3?
4 teams are tied with 6. The Mavs have 10 losses and 4 teams have 6. That's the next closest. So the Mavs are in these games, which is, it's like another like weird, frustrating thing. They're in the games. They just can't close them because they don't have the talent, the top end talent to close any of these. Teams that usually have top end talent, Rockets, no Kevin Durant. What happens to them against the Suns? We'll talk about that and break it all down coming up. Locked On NBA Game Night continues. Today's episode of Locked On NBA Game Night is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code Locked On NBA. You get $20 off your first purchase if you're going to do this. I've used Game Time for so many things. If you're in a city or at a metroplex like I am in Dallas, you've got stuff in theaters. There's all kinds of things happening all the time. Check out Game Time. See what you can save. You know exactly where you're going to sit because they show you your view from your seat, which is awesome. They'll show you. They'll give you these zone deals, which are a game changer. You pick the section, Game Time picks your seats, and you save big, which is massive. You can even buy NBA tickets for under $25. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use that code LOCKEDON NBA, Locked On NBA, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Code is Locked On NBA. Swipe, tap, ticket, go.
Big chicken, baby.
I think a lot. I'm very smart.
Take that for that.
Count it up. Count it up. Count it up. Count it up. Count it up.
It's Counted Up, where we count on the most interesting, fun things in the NBA. Before we get to that, let's talk about the Rockets and the Suns.
Yes.
The Rockets are without Kevin Durant. Obviously, Dorian Finney-Smith still out. Obviously, Fred VanVleet still out. The Suns without Mark Williams and Grayson Allen and Ryan Dunn. So neither team healthy. Just want to be clear about that. Let's hear from Jackson Gatlin first about this team, about the Rockets getting this win.
The Houston Rockets taking care of business against the Phoenix Suns, 114-92. What's up? This is Jackson Gatlin, host of Locked On Rockets. And look, no Kevin Durant for the Rockets, still no Jalen Green for the Suns, and yet no love lost between these two teams as they took to the floor. It was physical, it was messy, it was scrappy, cheap shots being thrown left and right. For the Rockets, Amin Thompson led the way, 28 points, got downhill at will in this game. The Suns defense had no answer for him in this one. Aaron Holiday, huge spark off the Rockets bench, 22 points on 6 of 10 shooting from downtown. And then Dylan Brooks, the only member of this trade to suit up in this game, took to his old team and definitely tried to show up the Rockets a little bit. 29 points, took him 22 shots to get there, though. Did rack up 5 fouls, including a cheap shot on his former teammate, Steven Adams, in this one. And Rockets and DB all had a good laugh about that one. But the Rockets defense is what won them this game at the end. They only gave up 17 points in the fourth quarter. They put clamps on Booker kind of throughout the game, really pressuring him, sending doubles his way, forced him into 6 turnovers, 18 points on 13 shots for him. And then the Rockets ran so much in this game, 18-4 fast break advantage in this one for Houston.
I'll say Ben Garcia had something to say at the end of his post game. I'll just skip to the end here for
Devin Booker. Okay. And the Suns' shots weren't falling at a high enough clip, and they were turning over the ball a lot every time they kind of got close or within striking distance. So credit to the Rockets. That's a good win for them. But I think when both teams are healthy, I think I'd take the Suns in that matchup. But for now, Suns lose, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Obviously, my question for you, Camille, is both teams healthy. Who are you taking in this matchup? Because, Kevin Durant was missing on one side, but don't forget Mark Williams was out. Ryan Dunn was out. Grayson Allen was out. They're not healthy on the Suns side, Camille.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the team that has the 15-time All-Star that's averaging a team high in points. I think the Rockets, if fully healthy, both teams, let me get the Rockets. Although the Suns have been a surprise this season. They had won 3 straight games before this loss. But yeah, give me the Rockets, who have won now 13 or 11 of their last 13.
Suns have been a lot better than I thought. A scrappy team. They've defended way better than I thought that they would, for sure. And that's without Malawach playing any minutes too. They've gotten away with some of those guys playing. He didn't really even play in this one, even though Mark Williams was out, which I think is interesting. But Ahmed Thompson's too much for him. I mean, he was so good in this one. He had a couple little mid-range shots, and you're like, ooh, if he can start hitting that shot, like he can get to that spot whenever he wants to. Man, that was wild. He had 11 points in the fourth quarter. That was massive. Aaron Holiday also had 10 points in that fourth quarter. Huge. And Devin Booker only played 6 minutes in the fourth quarter, 1 of 2 from the field. Something to watch in that fourth quarter. The Portland Trailblazers go to Milwaukee, and the Blazers get the win. Listen to Mike Richmond, Locked On Blazers, and all that. What I care about is the Bucks did a tribute video for Damian Lillard.
Yes.
He was an all-star both years, correct? Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong on it. Fact check me in real time. He's an all-star in both years.
Uh-huh.
He only played in 7 playoff games.
That sounds right, because he was injured throughout the first and injured throughout the second, yes.
Because Milwaukee was eliminated in round 1 in both years.
6 and 5, yep.
And then he was waived and stretched at the end of his tenure with the Bucks. Then he comes back and he's not healthy, he's not playing, but he gets a tribute video and they posted all about him and everything. How will you remember Damian Lillard as a Buck, Camille?
As an NBA Cup champion, that's what I remember Damian Lillard as. You got to respect the cup. Respect the cup, Nick. But no, I mean, honestly.
It's Monday. We don't have to respect the cup on Monday. It's not our day.
I always respect the cup. But no, I mean, he's a top 75 player. I think it was just a classy move for the Bucks to do. I'll have fond memories of Dame in Milwaukee, even though it didn't pan out the way we hoped.
Okay. All right. Just checking. Guess you get a tribute video. 2 All-Stars, I guess. I was like, all right, well, there's some guys that would get tributes. The Nuggets will have all kinds of tribute videos to play for all kinds of players by the end of their run, because this is a really good team. Let's hear from our guy Swipa on the Nuggets win tonight.
What a game for the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets get a win 125-115, moving on to 13-4 on the year. Nikola Jokic, a hefty triple-double, 17 points and 16 assists today. Jamal Murray, 27 points. He hits 6 threes today. Peyton Watson continues to play out of his mind. 27 points from Peyton Watson. The Denver Nuggets, man, down Aaron Gordon, down Christian Brown. They continue to find new lineups and ways to win. The Nuggets, it's been an up and down last week and a half, but man, the Nuggets, they have a real chance to continue to get a winning streak going. The Nuggets, they look good. They took care of business. Jokic was very much in cruise control today, but Peyton Watson, ever since he's taken over the starting job from Christian Brown, he has been phenomenal. Great defense, even better offense today. The Nuggets, they got a good thing going.
They do have a good thing going, Camille. They've got Peyton Watson. He had a 32-point game recently, and this one he had 27 points. It was absolutely massive. Is Peyton Watson the key to carrying the Nuggets role players with Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon out?
Absolutely, because not only has he shown the growth in his offensive game, what he can do defensively as well is very important. Like, he is a two-way guy for real now for this team. And with them having injuries on the wing right now, it's very important that you're able to still get production, because he's not talked about in the same breath as Aaron Gordon and Christian Brown, but Julian Strawther was also out in this game too. So just having another guy you can trust is important. He's getting valuable minutes while other guys are out.
Absolutely massive to see Peyton Watson step up. And now the Nuggets have this depth. We're like, oh, they're missing 2 role players. And that Peyton Watson, who was on their team last year, just the growth, like becoming another role player for him. That was huge.
Facts.
The New Orleans Pelicans get a win against the Chicago Bulls, a wild game where they had 129 offensive rating, like out of nowhere. Zion had 29 points, 13 of 16 from the field. 8 Pelicans had 10 or more points. But Derek Queen has been the story for the Pelicans the last couple of games. He's been fun. He's been really fun to watch. He's obviously been fun online. The Atlanta Falcons were going back and forth with him. But he only played 17 minutes in this game. He did have 4 fouls. But the Pelicans get the win. I saw some fans complaining online that Derek Queen didn't get enough minutes and they were frustrated about it. My question is, as a fan, do you enjoy a win as much if your beloved rookie doesn't play as much as you want?
Yes.
You still do?
Ultimately, I'm in the business of trying to win games. Now, Pelicans fans probably should be in that business given the fact that they traded their draft pick that's in the swap with the Bucks to the Hawks. So it's like losing to see your rookie play. You don't get much benefit from that, but just get a win. It's been a long time since you felt that the feeling of victory. Like, go for the win.
I think it's not as fun if your rookie doesn't play because you're like, oh, well, okay, we get the win, but all these guys had double-digit points, and Derek Queen only played 17 minutes, and he started, and you're like, okay, why did he not play? It wasn't like an injury thing. Okay,
he'll have a lot more time, this season to get some big minutes.
Just don't think it's this fun. What is fun is watching Steph Curry and the Warriors go on their runs. 21-0 run in the middle of this second quarter against the Jazz. Let's hear from Chuck Walter on the Warriors win.
That was just what the doctor ordered after 3 straight losses in the Warriors' first home loss of the season on Friday against the Portland Trail Blazers. One of those games that was never in question. It was kind of in question early. So much so to the point where the Jazz raced out to an 11-0 lead. Steve Kerr was irate on the sidelines. You could just tell that the Warriors didn't come out with the energy, the focus that he expected after a rare practice and scrimmage that they had over the weekend, a little training camp, they called it. No Draymond Green, no Jonathan Kuminga, no Al Horford, but size was not an issue against a much bigger Utah Jazz team. The final numbers, 47 rebounds for the Jazz, 48 for the Warriors. Dubs win that statistic. Golden State shot it great. 50% for the floor, 19 of 52, good for 37% from 3. Buddy Hield his best game of the season with 20. Steph Curry, a casual 31. And the Warriors were able to get contributions from guys like Guy Santos, Trace Jackson-Davis, Quentin Post, and others as they take down the Jazz 134-117. Matt Kolsky and myself have the deep dive on Locked On Warriors.
That casual 31 from Steph Curry, I wanted to deep dive a little bit more into. That's his 12th game of 30 points or more after the age of 37, which I think is fascinating. Only 4 players have more games of 30-plus points after the age of 37. You know what I'm going to do, Camille? I'm going to ask you to name all of them. Only 4 players. It's literally the most obvious list.
LeBron.
82 and counting. He's at 82 games of 30. Curry, this is his 12th game. LeBron has 82.
Okay. Kareem. I'm gonna say Kareem did it.
Kareem has 28. He's number 3.
Who else is up there? OGs like Vince Carter. I don't think he wasn't putting the points on like that there at the end. Kobe,
the GOAT, not Kobe.
Jordan.
Michael Jordan, 25 of these.
It had to be, And
then this is a guy high up in scoring list and never gets talked about as a scorer, but played for a long time.
Malone or Stockton, someone from
Karl Malone had 43 games of 30 points after the age of 37. So Curry is now 5th in games of 30 plus or more after the age of 37. But LeBron, Karl Malone, Kareem Jordan. He's got a while to catch LeBron James. LeBron's at 82.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's
82 and counting. I
LeBron.
don't know if he's going to catch that one. The last game on the slate, the Knicks get an easy win against the Brooklyn Nets. My big question is about the Brooklyn Nets, though. Go listen to Locked On Knicks because I'm sure they're doing great stuff over there. The Nets, though, Drake Powell, 15 points, shooting fine on the season, but not anything special. Yegor Djomin had 9 points, 2 assists in this game, but we were talking before and we were like, hey, I think he had a good game at one point in the season. It was like 15 points. You're like, okay, he hit like 5 threes. Okay,
a little bit more like last week.
My question is, scale of 0 to 5, how concerned are you by the Nets' 5 first-round rookies?
Ooh, I'm assuming 5 being extremely concerned.
0 is you're not concerned at all.
Well, I'm pretty sure the front office is probably feeling a good 0 so they can get that good old draft pick. But I'd probably say like a 2, not super high yet. The season is still very young. It's 5 different rookies you're trying to incorporate at the same time. It's hard enough to get 2 rookies consistent playing time and kind of monitor the growth and what they're doing. But to have 5, it's a lot. So it's something to keep an eye on. Like if you don't see any flashes from any of the 5, by All-Star, it'll go up. But right now, there's still some time. Just something to keep an eye on.
There's definitely time. I'm concerned. I think I'm probably a 3. Just concerned. Like, all right, do we get a rotation player in any of these 5? That's it. If you can't answer that question with a confident yes, absolutely. Drake Powell is absolutely a rotation player, or Dioman is a rotation player, or Ben Saroff will be one. Like, if you can't answer that question by the end of the season, that's a failure. Like that 5 first-round rookies and not any of them be a rotation player. If you can't answer that question by the end of the season, that's the one that I'm watching. And a game like this where you go, man, like you're just not getting much from any of these guys.
Yeah, that's fair. That's we were close to 3, 2.5 cumulative between the two of us for the Monday show.
For sure. Go listen to Eric Slater, Locked On Nets. He's in the loop, all kinds of stuff over there. And he said one day he was recording his show as he was talking, all the coaches walked by. He's recording like in the press room. Can you imagine you're just doing your show like, you know what, the decision by Jordi Fernandez at the end of this game was absolutely awful. And he just walked, him and his whole staff just walked by the room.
And by awful, I meant
it was awfully great that they get that kind of decision. Thanks for listening to Locked On NBA Game Night. Go listen to Locked On NBA Daily of the West. Hayes and Matt, thanks so much for listening to Locked On NBA.